It is the 200 level Mike Carpenter in the basement studio on this late, shall we say, Thursday evening. For those that are tuning in to the stream, I'll explain the sunglasses in a bit. Had a bit of a procedure yesterday and physically feel fine, but my eyes are fatigued. I'll get into all the Grizzly details when we get to our first break. But speaking of Grizzly, oh, God, we are mucking it up at the State Farm Center tonight. 33-26, Illinois leads. They are withstanding the mudslinging from this Washington Huskies team, which that's the one chance they have, is to come in and really muck this game up. They've done a decent job of that, but credit to Illinois for, persevering through all this. And it starts with Keaton Wagler, 11 points, 4 of 6 from the field, not looking himself, and still that efficient. Now, the free throws, 2 for 5, are a little bit unusual for him, and it makes you wonder if there's not fatigue setting in. 20 minutes played, not one spell. David Mirkovic looked good. 8 points in 13 minutes, but 2 fouls sidelined him early. Jake Davis, touch and go. He did hit a 3. He has 3 boards, but there were a couple of not so good plays, including 2 turnovers. Tommy, 2 points, 4 rebounds. Need to really get him going. He's 1 for 5 from the field. His one make was a little hook shot. Stojakovic hit 2 of his last 3, so that was good to see him get it to the rim. Ben Humrichous, 5 points. But the story of the game here is that Illinois just does not look themselves offensively. I think the defense has been just fine. But free throws, 4 for 9. And if you hit your free throws at the usual rate, you're probably up 10 right now. As it stands, you're up 33-26. And this after Washington led 7-0. So if we want to look at a brighter side of this, you've outscored them 33-19 cents. So that's good news. I expect an Illinois win. Not sexy. I feel like the rims are tight tonight. It feels like the microphones are right up against the rims of State Farm Center. It's a sleepy atmosphere, you can tell, and I get it. I turned the TV on at 8, and it has a little timer. 15 minutes till the Illinois game. I'm like, are you shitting me? 8:15? What are we waiting for? Start the game. Because this sounds a little bit entitled. And this happens, I guess, when you have a top 10 team. Illinois ranked 9th. No one cares about this game that much to wait 15 minutes of FS1 coverage. We don't care that much. Start the stupid game. But we did start it, and it was a pretty quick half. And we might stand a chance to be down around 10. Why am I so interested in going to bed? Because I had surgery yesterday, and sleep will be great. But I'm here, and we're underway in the second half. Again, details on that surgery here in a bit. But Illinois with the ball to kick things off. So Keaton Wagler is going to kick it out to Jake Davis, back up top to Tommy. We're 10 seconds in here. And as I'm looking at the second half, I need a secondary option consistently offensively to step up. And Andre with a really nice take there. That is 3 takes in the last probably 6 or 7 minutes of game time to the rim. So really good to see from Stojakovic after a really rough start. Now, Washington comes back, and they hit a little shot from the free throw line. And what's so maddening about this Washington team, I don't think they're good. I really do not think they are, but they have talent. And they're mucking it up. That's fine. They're shooting these mid-range jumpers, and they're making it. And it really is antithetical to what you read about with efficient offense. Now, they're making quite a bit of them, though. And they had a stretch there in the first half where they made 6 in a row, I believe, before Illinois finally put the lid on that at the very end of that first half. So this is a Washington team that is capable, but it's just annoying that they're hanging around. Now, this is the 3rd foul on Wesley Yates. He's a talented guy. He's got 10 points so far. Mirkovic trying to break down the other freshman for Washington. He does that. The freshman for Washington, whose name escapes me. Who is that there? It is Steinbach, right? And this is going to be a take for Washington. It's going to be a goaltend on Tommy, so back to a 7-point lead. So, trading buckets to start here in the second half. I've not really had much of a problem with Illinois' defense today, but at the same time, I'm seeing Washington look like a very undisciplined team. And if you got a coach named Danny Springle, if your last name was Springle, and maybe I got a listener out there whose last name is Springle, but have you considered changing your name if so? Because that is just a really unfortunate last name for someone to have. 37-30. Here's Keaton with the take. Not going to get the foul called on him. So we'll go back to Washington with a 7-point Illinois lead, 18-35. And Washington with a break. They got a blocking foul on Tommy. No, on David. I'm just going to say Merck. I need to stop doing that. That's his third, and Underwood's a little bit pissed off that Wagler did not get the call. And then Wagler gets over, and here's what I would argue. His legs were not moving, so that therefore should be a charge. He did somewhat put his chest into the defender to kind of initiate contact. And I think that little movement, that little hitch is probably what got the call. I don't like it, but it is what it is. And a 3 for Washington to make it a 4-point game. So, guys, this is going to be an annoying game. Just get used to it. This is going to be annoying. Washington's going to hang. The Steinbach kid, Danny Sprinkle, and his traveling cavalcade of talented but undisciplined dudes from Washington. They're going to hang. Tommy gets the board. We got contact here, and they are not calling anything, but they called that lame-ass foul on Mirkovic. The 3 from Tommy is up and good, though. So that negates what we saw from Steinbach there. Is it Steinbach? I'm thinking like Steinbach Grapes of Wrath. Yeah. Take is up and good for Washington. Jesus Christ. So these guys are scoring it well, but it looks like, according to my score app, something good's going to happen here. Hulu Live is a little bit slow on the take. So who's going to hit a 3 here for Illinois? Here's Keaton. Getting a pick? Not getting a pick. He's driving it. Kicks it out. Mirkovic will hit a 3 here. So Illinois with a 43-35 lead. They extend their lead by 1 since halftime. Offense looking good. Need to get some stops, and then they can stretch this thing out a little bit. But yeah, sometimes you watch these games, and they're just weird. And you can't really get a flow or rhythm about it. And this has been one of those. And, a long 2 from Washington. Sure. Why not? And here's the thing. I'm not annoyed with anything Illinois is doing. I'm annoyed with Washington. I'm here to just kind of chill on this Thursday evening, and they're just making shit from 18 feet away. All right, here's Tommy. He wants the 3, but he gives it back to Keaton. Keaton going to drive it. Trying to draw the foul. He does get that foul there, and maybe a little bit of chirping from Brad Underwood helped to kind of smooth that over after Keaton did not get a call earlier. So, yeah, I'm just watching this Washington team. Steinbach is clearly good. They have athletes. They're playing tough. The front of their jerseys, this is my problem. They have a coach named Danny Sprinkle, and the front of their jerseys is literally DAWGS, dogs. Riddle me this. Like, you got to be kidding me, right? DAWG, dogs? I know you're the Huskies. I haven't seen that spelling of dogs since 1998. I don't know if it's ironic or what, but it's stupid regardless. All right, Keaton makes both. It is an 8-point lead for Illinois with 16:40 to go. You're not getting surly Carp, I promise you. I'm just kind of in a weird headspace right now because just a day ago I was under general anesthesia. And, okay, long 2, no good. Illinois gets the board. Let's stretch this out. Let's make this a laugher. So I'm in a really weird space, and I have a game that I'll compare it to in just a second that takes me back a little bit. Hopefully it's not quite as dramatic as that one. Illinois with the ball with 16:15 to go. Keaton with the drive. And he's just very smooth, up and in. 10-point Illinois lead. And time to stretch this even more because Washington is a foul on Tommy on this drive. I don't know these Washington guys' names. I'll tell you the game that this reminds me of. Back in 21, so the COVID year, Illinois won an overtime game at Indiana. And this would have been Trace Jackson Davis as maybe a freshman or sophomore. Io fouled out late, and Curbelo had to finish the game with Kofi. Illinois got the win, but it was just an ugly, it was just, we called that podcast the stupidest game ever played because it was a ridiculous game in so many ways. And this is one of those games where you can't put your finger on the pulse of it. Like, I watched the Purdue game on Saturday, and it felt like it had a flow, and one team would take the lead, and then Illinois would counter, and then you just had a really good back and forth, and you just felt kind of comfortable watching that game, knowing what both teams were. I'm not really sure about that at this point, and that's credit to Washington for playing hard, but it doesn't make it any less annoying. Keaton, up, no good, and good defense there from Washington. There was no foul on that. A 3 from Washington will make this a 5-point game, because why not? Ugh. All right. We got 15:25 to go. Washington hanging around. Big Z gets the entry from Keaton and the dunk. Creates a little space for himself with a little forearm shiver. I like that. All right, back to Washington with 15 to go. And a little take. Free throw line shot up and good. Lame. 15 minutes to go. What I like about this game, though, is it's going pretty quick. It is. It doesn't matter if Illinois wins by 1. Just win the damn game. All right. Tommy, 3. No good. But rebound, Jay can't quite corral it. Washington has an opportunity for a break. And, man, players are falling all over. This is a weird game, guys. I don't even know. My vision is not 100% right now either, and my eyes are fatigued, and I'm wearing sunglasses, and I'm just sort of like, the hell's going on here? Take for Washington is up and no good. A rebound for Illinois. Nice job by Big Z. And they're going to call a fucking jump ball. This is an annoying game. All right. While we have a break, a reminder, the 200 level is brought to you by Hamilton Walkers. Steak, seafood, and spirits in the heart of downtown Champaign. Fantastic place for, as we're still stuck in this, Arctic tundra of winter. There is no dining room in Champaign-Urbana that is better for this time of year to just kind of cozy up into one of their awesome booths. They have these circular booths with sort of like red leather. Oh, it's so plush. I could take a nap in one of those. Hamilton Walkers also, if you are in the mood for staying in, allows you to order online and pick it up, and they will bring it out to your car just behind Hamilton Walkers. They got a parking lot right there. And they make it super easy. So if you are more of it's too cold to go out, well, there you go. And if you're in the mood of it's cold, I want to go be in someplace cozy, well, there you go. Hamilton Walkers in downtown Champaign. All right, also got to thank State Farm agent Brian Hansen online at Brian is My Guy. Life, auto, home, business, renters, whatever your insurance needs, visit online at brianismyguy.com. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend. Give them a call at 217-841-4728 and join their maintenance program. No overtime or weekend fees, guaranteed same-day service with Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing. 217-841-4728. And finally, Owen Builders, LLC, for your next home improvement project. Check out a gallery of their work online at owenbuildersllc.com. Good evening to all of you watching, wherever you may be streaming. We got about 150 people through our streaming channels. Okay, so here's what happened to me while I'm wearing sunglasses on a podcast. So yesterday morning, this is Wednesday morning, went in for the second strabismus surgery. Now, the strabismus is a muscle in your eye, and it kind of dictates. There's a few strabismus muscles, and they dictate eye alignment. So my entire life, I'm 39 years old, my entire life, my left eye has been pulled inward. So, lazy eye, essentially. I got one procedure done in August, and that moved it a little bit more to the center, and then we had to have a follow-up procedure, and they put you under, and they open those eyes like Clockwork Orange style with those little clip thingies, and off they go, snip, snip, stitch, stitch, and a day later, they are 100% aligned. Now, for those who watch the podcast, I've compensated with how I look at the camera, but it's been pretty noticeable. Same thing with teaching or whatever else, just even, saying hi to someone in the tailgate lots. I've compensated my whole life for that thing. So this is something where finally, when these bad boys are off, and you can't probably tell because my eyes are not very wide right now because they're very light sensitive. They are now 100% pretty much dead on. So excited about that, but I can't really celebrate in that right now because they're just fatigued. Hence the Ray-Bans as I'm watching Illinois in a slugfest with this annoying Washington team. And yeah, there's talent and they're playing tough, but the coach's name is Danny Sprinkle, and I can't shake that. All right, it looks like Washington's going to launch a three. Ben closes out. This is going to be Steinbach from close to the rim. Good defense by Ben, and it's going to be out of bounds and stay with Washington. Big Z, hold on to the freaking rebound. First, the jump ball. Second, grab the goddamn rebound. You're 7'2". He's had a bad couple games here. And I'm not really sure what the reason is. And I'm watching this, and I got to say the frustration is that I'm waiting for someone other than Keaton to be a consistent dude out there for Illinois, and that's not happening right now. Mirkovic has been the closest thing to that. Stojakovic, a few good takes. But I want someone to take the onus off of Keaton. Now, right now, Illinois is getting out-rebounded 22-21 by Washington. Keaton over to Ben Humrichous. The three is up. It is good. That is the second made three for Ben. He's 2 for 3 tonight. This is the kind of thing you need, right? Jake Davis got a 3 in the first half. I bet he's due for another. But to get 2 from Ben, he's filled his quota, right? And that's his 3-point quota, is 2 threes a game. And that is great to see because he's doing a lot of other things well out there. And just getting the 6, 7, 8 points because he did get a couple free throws, I think, as well. A foul away from the rim. It's going to be on the floor against Andrei Stojakovic. The 4th foul on Illinois this half. Piling up a little bit by Illinois standards. But yeah, watching this, just Ben nailed it with confidence. Good to see him get a stroke back. That would be huge for Illinois because he had a few weeks there where it was just not going in. All right, 13-14 to go. 8-point Illinois lead. Washington on offense. Passing around the perimeter here. A little zone look from Illinois. I like this just from a standpoint of saving some energy. And even if it's just to save some energy for Keaton. It's a shame that you have no confidence. Oh, my God. Fuck off. I'm sorry for cursing. These floaters. A floater from some scrub on Washington. If you're a Washington Husky fan, I'm not trying to say mean things about your team. But that kind of stuff is just so freaking annoying. I need to stop cursing. I'm sorry. All right, here's Keaton with the take. He gets the foul. So the fouls are starting to get called both ways. Slugfest ensues. And by the way, only 3 fouls on Illinois. I thought that had not updated. I thought it was 4 against Illinois, but it's only 3. I don't know why this Washington team bothers me. Why? They're just playing hard. It's not their fault. They're making garbage. It's not as if Illinois is not coming out with the game plan they need. Keaton makes the first. They're playing fine. They're still up 7. But we can't put these guys away. Now, the spread, mind you, is 12.5. There's still a chance here. I feel like if you can just get this to double digits, that's the arm's length that you might need in this game. Keaton makes both. So it's an 8-point lead for Illinois, 12-38. I'm done cursing. I'm sorry. I filled my quota. 2 F-bombs already. Keaton gets a spell. Much needed. So I'm assuming Petro gets 1 defensive and 1 offensive possession, and you kind of need that. He does not. They're going to let, I think, Stojakovic or Mirkovic play point when they come back. But here's the thing. Washington is playing a fairly big lineup, so you don't need a true point, and that's a big block from Big Z. All right, here's Stojakovic. He kicks it up to Ben. Ben 3 is up. That looked good. Darn it. Big rebound from Mirkovic, though, and it's going to be stolen but go out of bounds on Washington, so a break there. A little too much dribbling from Mirk. All right. Thank you, Big Z. Finally looking alive. He's had a weird couple games here. And you knew that inconsistency might come into play with him, but he had avoided that for the most part. All right. Illinois ball with 12-12, I want to say here. 12-12 to go in the second half. Davis inbounds it to Mirk. Mirk is running point. Point forward. Scottie Pippen style. Here's Mirkovic taking it right side, and he's going to draw a foul. This will be the 5th on Washington with 12:06 to go. Are they going to call that a shooting foul? Technically, I'm not sure. Guys, I look at this Washington team. They're just flying around. They got big dudes. They got athletes, but they're just undisciplined, which is what's making this all the more frustrating. They are disrupting you enough. Their athleticism and their size is disrupting you just enough. Mirkovic, free throws up and good. 9-point Illinois lead. So, yeah, all this surliness that I've been exuding is annoyance more than anything. We see Kylan on the sideline and hopeful that you get him back, in a couple weeks perhaps? Mirkovic makes both. So it's a 10-point Illinois lead with 12:05 to go. Washington, playing like chickens with their head cut off. They bring it across with 11:55 to go. Illinois trying to steal some minutes without Keaton, and I say, why not? I mean, you got a long season. And here's Steinbach with a dunk. Keaton wouldn't have done much, I think, to stop that. So I think you need to steal these few minutes here. Still an 8-point lead for Illinois. Here's Mirkovic. He's driving. Kicks it out to Big Z. Back up top to Jake Davis. The three. Seemed like a bit of a force, but Ben gets the rebound. Very nice offensive rebounding. Here is Mirkovic, right side the perimeter. Stojakovic wants it, but Mirkovic wants it even more. He's driving it himself. A force. Ugh. And it's going to be Washington ball. That ball just kind of stopped there with Mirkovic. And Washington with the ball, down 8. And just get a stop, guys. You've stolen already 2.5 minutes without Keaton, it looks like. Jake Davis getting the passing lane. I don't mind that foul. They'll be the 4th on Illinois with 10:51 to go. And you stole some minutes there. Still up 8. But, man, what a dogfight. All right, while we're here, got to remind you, and we'll do this each break, that one of our sponsors is Hamilton Walkers, downtown Champaign, steak, seafood, and spirits. I've mentioned that you can order out if you're not really in the mood for going out to eat. But here's the thing. They got plenty of parking right behind the place. It's a parking lot that from 5 p.m. and after is available to the public. So parking right next door. You can eat in the dining room, which is the coziest dining room, especially during the winter, or in the excellent bar up front. But Hamilton Walkers, my go-to is bone-in steak, medium, old-fashioned, steak fries for a side. What's the other side we usually get? If we're feeling healthy, maybe like asparagus or green beans. If we're feeling more comfort food, and this time of year it seems to call for that, mac and cheese. Hamilton Walkers in downtown Champaign. All right, so as we hit a bit of a reset here, I just got to rest my eyes periodically. I'm sorry. Keeping them open like this is, I'm not going to say this is my flu game. I'm not going to do that. But I also have been kind of cooped up the last few days. So I had to come down here, do this, get in the groove a little bit. I'm not going to school tomorrow because I would be shutting my eyes every 10 minutes, and that's not really conducive to teaching. So, all right, here's a quick reset as we're the under 12 timeout. 15 points for David Mirkovic in 20 minutes. 5 attempts from the field. His last attempt was the one where you thought, well, a bit of a force. But other than that, he's had a really good night. Jake Davis, he's playing a lot of minutes. Maybe a net neutral out there. In fact, his plus-minus is, in fact, 0. Tommy, 5 points, 5 rebounds, 21 minutes. God, you'd love to get him going more than that. I mean, is he even averaging double digits this year? 10.2. All right. Doesn't necessarily feel like it. Stojakovic, he hit an early shot. Actually, he hit the first shot of the second half, but nothing since. Keaton was 17. It just feels like a reliance on this freshman. And Keaton is special. But this is where the veterans need to stop deferring. And they need to start being more alpha, for lack of a better term. There's nothing that Keaton is doing. There's no way in which he's playing that is keeping Tommy or Andre from being more assertive. Your third leading scorer tonight is Ben Humrichous, and that's great. That's great news, but also not great news. Because that means, well, where's Tommy? Where's Andre? And those are really the two guys I'm kind of keying in on. Now, Big Z, 2 points in 11 minutes. He does have 5 boards. But just a kind of uncharacteristically messy night for Illinois. And one in which I'm looking at this here with, 44% from the field is not great, but not killing you. You're shooting 38% from 3. So what is the hiccup here? Well, the fact is, Washington has as many field goal attempts as you do, and they've made 1 more field goal. They've made 4 less three-pointers, and they made 6 less free throws. And that's the difference in margin right there. But the rebounds, 25 to 25, are keeping them in this thing. And they've only turned the ball over 6 times. And that's usual for Illinois' defense. That's not uncommon. We don't turn teams over. We've turned the ball over 4 times, so whatever. That's basically a wash. Points in the paint, 26 for Washington to 16 for Illinois, though Illinois does have 14 second chance points. All right, is Washington ball. And they're going to shoot a 3. It is up. Of course it's good. It's annoying. I don't know who this kid is. I don't know why his face bothers me. I'm saying a college kid's face bothers me. Immaturity runs rampant here in the 200 level, but it just does. All right, 56-51. Keaton with the ball. He's back in and probably will be for the rest of the game. Finds Mirkovic easy too. Back to a 7-point lead. Truly, guys, just a game you win and forget about. That's where you're at. But I still want to get back to that 10-point cushion and just feel like you got an arm's length to kind of work with. Open three for Washington. No good. Not a good look. But another three. No. Pump fake. Illinois regroups defensively. We have 10 minutes to go. We are exactly where we started at the beginning of this first half. 7-point Illinois lead. The three for Washington is up. No good. And a board for Illinois. So you've made it. You've not given up any ground through the first 10 minutes of the second half. Illinois ball. Big Z wants the three. It is no good. Ben gets the board, but there is a foul on the floor against Washington. That is their fifth or sixth foul. Sorry, just kind of occasionally resting my eyes here. From Bart Miller, every time Merck goes ISO, an angel loses its wings. Yeah, that was not very pretty when he does that. He did draw a foul one time on it. I like Merck. I appreciate how assertive he's been the last couple games with Kylan out, and it does seem like he is developing some consistency out there. All right, well, speaking of Mirkovic, he's got it. He's trying to take it himself. Up and good. Nice body control. Getting big tonight. Really good game for him. 60-51, the 9-point lead for Illinois. 19 for David. So with 9:25 to go, it just feels like you're getting to that point where just string together a couple stops. Your offense seems to be humming a little bit here in the second half. Another one from the freaking lane. These 15-foot bullshit. Like, you got an offense that funnels them in there. They're hitting it like Michigan State does. You know, and that's what last year when Michigan State came in here and you had this big lead, and then you could not stop them when they were driving the lane and they shot it from right at the free throw line. It's not a terrible shot, but Tommy does not make the three. It's back to Washington. 7-point lead for Illinois. Is it going to get bumped into? Foul on Jake Davis, and Washington will go to the line. Jake Davis is he's doing more hustle things today, and there's not much benefit from that. You need more than 1-3 from him. You need more than a few fouls sending guys to the line. There was a 5-point swing in the first half because of Jake Davis. It's frustrating. He is thrust into a role that's not easy, for sure. But is it really Jake Davis's onus to take this on, or as Barton Miller says, Tommy, shot looks flat again. He's got 5 points. He has not been Tommy from last year all year, and eventually it's February soon. The next game you play will be in the month of February. From Jazzy, Tommy needs to figure his stuff out. How is he worse this year? I mean, I thought, Jazzy, that it was probably a missed shot for Illinois, but a rebound for Tommy. Nice. Good find to Andre. 7-point lead. I don't understand, Jazzy, because I know that early on there's probably a transition in kind of figuring out how to play with Keaton being point, and last year Tommy was doing so much with the ball running through him. Fine. But the fact it's taken this long is a bit perplexing. Now, Washington's back on offense. 8:10 to go. This game is just kind of flying by. And shot clock is winding down. They're just going to launch one up from the lane. And it's no good. Illinois gets the ball. All right. Hooray. Ben Humrichous with the board. 7-point lead with 7:50 to go. Mirkovic brings it across court to spell Keaton a little bit, but it will go back into Keaton's hands with 15 on the shot clock. 7:45 to go. He's trying to draw a foul on his guy. Almost got one there. Taking it to the lane. Up and good. God, he's good. 9-point Illinois lead. No foul called there. He was trying to draw one, but the body control that he has is something else. 19 points and 7 assists. Timeout for Washington. Timeout for Danny Sprinkle. Crowd goes wild. Danny frickin' Sprinkle. Are you kidding me? We're playing guys with dogs on the chest and a coach named Sprinkle. and you wonder why I'm annoyed. Ugh. While we have a break here, got to remind you the 200 level is brought to you by State Farm agent Brian Hansen. Online at brianismyguy.com. Life, auto, home, business, renters, you name it. Brian is my guy, and he can be your guy as well at brianismyguy.com. All right, let's check out the old chat thread here. We got about 200 people throughout the 3 streaming feeds. From my good friend Matt, do you remember when Tommy made those late threes against Purdue? Pepperidge Farms remembers. I do, Matt, and I think that this is a game that is tailor-made for one of those as well. You know, Washington is not probably going to go away quietly, much to my chagrin. But let's say you're up 5, something like that at the under 4 timeout. It does seem like Tommy is ripe for another one of those. And in his defense, it has not been a great year for Tommy, but he has been timely when he has hit a lot of these shots. From Bart, Tommy seems like he's lost his lift on his jump shot. It's like a line drive. It does seem a little line drivey, but then again, Bart, if I look back to last year, he's 7'1". I do remember it not being ever that much arc on it, but yeah, it does seem like his flow, his rhythm is not entirely there. I don't know exactly why that is, but you're doing all this without him in that flow. So I'm watching this team, this 9th-ranked Illinois team, playing a annoying, pesky Washington team at home, up 9, under 8, and thinking you're doing this, and are you really hitting all cylinders yet? Now, that is not a guarantee that Illinois ever will hit all cylinders, but Tommy is sort of that guy that if he were to get back to that 15-point-a-game efficient score that he was last year, then boy, does that open things up. Because that little pick and pop sort of thing they got in the perimeter with him and Keaton, that could be their all game if Tommy is hitting at the clip that he was last year. And you get Kylan back, and I really do think it'll be sooner rather than later as a defensive stopper. You return Jake Davis to more of a supporting role. This team, I think, is still in a great spot. And this is a game that had trap written all over it, and you still have a chance to cover. But, man, Tommy, that is one where I'm not so worried as I was maybe a couple weeks ago that it was a mental thing. There were lapses that just frustrated you. I think now it is really just not physical so much as it is mechanic, maybe. I mean, you guys have talked about the shot, and I would agree it doesn't look great, but I can't really compare it exactly to what it looked like last year, but it did just feel smoother. I'm no expert on shooting. I can't hit the broadside of a barn playing basketball. That's why I'm talking about it and not playing it. But he had just a consistency last year. In actuality, if you think about it, the last few weeks of the year, it was early January before he got hurt or sick, I think. And then when he came back, the last few weeks of the year, he really got back in that rhythm. I don't think it's a physical thing so much anymore, but I think he can find that mechanical thing he needs to get that shot going again. And if he does, you're in great shape. Now we're back underway with 7:15 to go. Washington ball. Let's see what kind of garbage shot from 15 feet out they're going to attempt on this possession. And this is going to be down low, up, no good. And Illinois won a goaltending, but they're not going to get it. So a putback, and the rebounds stay pretty darn equal here, which is one reason why this game is not getting put away. Haynes Steinbach, 15 points and 10 boards. Stud freshman. Here's Stojakovic. Perimeter over to Keaton Wagler, right side. Ben, far right side. Andre, over to David. Back up top. Keaton Wagler gets blocked, but he gets the ball back. He finds Mirkovic. Another block. 2 blocks in that possession for Washington. Mark that down in case this game gets tighter. Washington with 6:25 to go. Yikes. You don't see that very much. And here is another late shot clock, under 10 for Washington. Playing around the perimeter. They're driving in. And a travel. They get the travel. There we go. Good. And now we get the under 8 timeout. Lonnie Brickle says, Brad just told the team to rebound better. Well, let's hope they oblige. Apparently Danny Sprinkle's timeout, under 8, did not count for the media. I hate to be so surly about these game times. I'm getting old, folks. I'm getting old, and I don't want to be up until 10:30 watching the game. It's the Dogs, the team that wears dogs on their chest. Honest question, though. When will one of these West Coast teams win a Big Ten basketball championship? I think they are so up against it with the travel schedule that I don't know when it's going to happen. And Mick Cronin loves to complain about it, but hey, Mick, I don't know what to tell you. It's not our fault that your last conference folded and we're the only logical place for you to go. But I don't know how, if you're UCLA or USC or Washington or Oregon, how you win a Big Ten title. I don't really understand. So I'm not alone, according to the chat thread, in this late start time. And listen, there are worse lots in life than staying up past 10 to watch a basketball game. But it's one that, I try to think, why is this game annoying me? Well, I don't know anything about Washington. I don't care to know anything about Washington. I know they're in the Big Ten. I know it's a mega conference. We got these West Coast teams. Fine. I have no relationship with them. So we get the late game because we're playing Washington at home. Okay, fine. So they can watch the game at 6:15 their time. But no, I mean, literally, when I was watching the end of that Iowa State-Colorado game, I thought, oh, good, it's getting done at 8. This is excellent. And then they do a little cutaway to State Farm Center. I say, okay, we're about to get going. And there's a little timer in the top left that says 15 minutes. I say, you've got to be kidding me. I did get a FIFA game in, so that was good news. I got something taken care of during those 15 minutes, but it was like, what are we waiting for? It is a Thursday night. We really don't need to wait to get this thing kicked off. And for those at the State Farm Center, they probably, 8 o'clock tip. Great, let's get there at 7:40. Make sure we can get some concessions and all that. And they walk in and they see the scoreboard says 35 minutes to game time. They're thinking, what? Listen, the world's smallest violin is playing for this first world problem, but just start the damn game, please. All right. In our chat thread, Isaac just said something that really resonates with me. He said, this little dude doesn't miss. This little dude from Washington who is bothersome because he's so pesky. His name is Mandaquit, and he's got 9 points tonight on 4-7 shooting, though it seems like he's made everything in the second half here. But man, pesky bugger. They're not bad talent-wise. They're just a mess. But they're hanging in there, and they're making it extra sloppy. From Greg, just an Illinois 5-0 run should ice this, but it's an annoyingly tight one till the end. Yes. And Greg, to Illinois' credit, they've been leading throughout, so you do have a feeling that, okay, you've been in control. And I still feel like they're in a good spot here. But you don't want this to get down to a single-digit game. And right now you're 7-point lead, 3 possession games. That's a good place to be. Illinois with the ball, chance to extend it. All right, we got under 20 to go in the shot clock. Feed to Tommy up and in. Illinois wanted the foul. They do not get it, but it's good for a 9-point Illinois lead. Turn the chat thread off for a second in case anyone's ahead of me. 5:40 to go. Washington with the ball. And down to 15 on the shot clock, taking it down the rim, or the lane, up and in. Why the hell would it not be? Contested shots, 15 feet away, they go in. A recipe for success, of course. Zoom Diallo. His name is Zoom. 5:20 to go. Here's Keaton. He finds Tommy. Tommy pump fakes. He's driving it in. Kicks it back out to Keaton. Didn't want that 3. Maybe he wants this one. It's going to be open. He takes it. No good. And it's going to be out of bounds and go to Washington. Tommy is not making him. Damn. Honestly, probably okay that went out of bounds because there might have been a break opportunity for Washington if not. You need better from Tommy, man. You do. You need better from him. I don't know what's going on. Big Z's back in. And it looks like he's spelling Tommy, I would assume. Yep. All right. So Ben Humrichous, Stojakovic, Big Z, Mirkovic, Wagler. Here's Washington, down 7 with 4:50 to go. Illinois playing pretty good on the perimeter here. Down the baseline. And a steal. Chance here for Keaton and Stojakovic. Stojakovic up. And they're not going to call a foul. I don't quite understand that, but Ben Humrichous with a heady play, and Illinois gets the ball with a fresh shot clock. Here's Keaton. Kicks it out to Big Z, to Mirkovic, over to Humrichous. The three is up. Money. Great ball movement. Awesome job by Ben Humrichous. Got a shot back. That's huge. 4:15 to go. 21 second chance points for Illinois. Massive tonight. The offensive rebounding continues. Awesome to see Ben hitting those shots. Big Z plays the passing lane. Washington looking like Washington again. Thank God. 10-point lead with 4 to go. That three was so massive for Ben. God dang. All right, here's Keaton. 15 on the shot clock. We're under 4 with 3:50 to go. Keaton trying to drive in the lane. Here's Big Z. Now, not even close. Oh, God, Jesus. Eva Sire, not very good tonight. And Big Z gets the block, but not before foul. That shot was nowhere close. Are they in a mind meld right now where they can't make a shot? Fortunately, Ben Humrichous can. So that's good. Man, great ball movement on that play, too. And Ben just stepping in that shot. He really likes that sort of, not quite corner, but right about where that arc starts turning. Good for him, man. He's been playing his butt off all year. Shot escaped him for about a month. Massive. All right, well, you are in a good spot right now. Hey, there's Isaac. What a solid game from Ben. Absolutely, Isaac. And Bart Miller. This is a podium game for Ben. Right now, it's looking like it. Yeah, Jazzy asked if maybe Big Brother can make some shots. No, not happening. But, you're doing this while taking a pretty good punch from Washington. And the biggest reasons why, yet again, Keaton Wagler, 19. Mirkovic, again, very good. 19 from him. No turnovers from him, which I think is an improvement because as much as I love Mirkovic, he has had a tendency for a couple of those silly turnovers per game. So not tonight. Oh, man. I'm going to ice these suckers when this game's over. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Whew. See, what happens is after the surgery, it's just fatigue. It's not pain from this eye thing, but it's just basically fatiguing the eyes. It'll be a good night's sleep for sure. But it's also good to keep them open so they can get used to things again. So this is the sort of the content you probably didn't expect to get from the 200 level, but whew, got to ice these suckers down. All right, this is from Illini Brick Girl. If you haven't watched the interview they did with Tyler about the offense yesterday, it's fascinating. Illini Brick Girl, where was this interview? Who conducted it? I'm intrigued by that. I mean, there's no denying that this offense has been, the numbers bear it out. Not just efficient, but historically so. You watch a game like this and you wonder, well, why does it look so difficult at times? And to be quite honest, it's really just been shot making. I think the shots themselves have been there. Illini Brick Girl says Illini Inquirer. Okay, I'll check that out. So maybe Jeremy did a podcast with them or at the very least posted it on their YouTube. So, all right. We have 3:50 to go, 3:40. 10-point lead for Illinois. It'll be Washington, I think, at the line when we get back here. Apologies for the voice, which is not the best either tonight. A little bit parched. Ooh, been a long 2 days. But we're on the mend. So Keaton Wagler highlights. The fact that you're watching this game and Keaton has been, by his standards, fine. And he's got 19 points and he's been efficient. Speaks the world of this kid. 19 on 5 of 9 shooting. 1 of 2 from 3. 8 assists. Yeah. Possible Big Ten Player of the Year. You could say Braden Smith, but I don't know what's going on with Purdue. This does not negate anything that you did at Mackey Arena, but I'm not surprised what happened to Indiana because that team for about a month now has not really been themselves. And Fletcher Lawyer is a shell of what he used to be. Taylor or Kaufman Wren, whatever his first name is just kind of a diva. I don't know, a stat sheet filler, but not really there when you need him. So Braden Smith and a bunch of dudes, and that's just not good enough anymore. All right, Illinois breaks the press very nicely. 3:30 to go. They're up 8. Going to run some clock and try to maybe get a foul. They are in the double bonus. No, they're not. What am I talking about? 6 fouls on Illinois, 5 on Washington. So neither team in the bonus. They're letting them play. Here's Keaton driving it to the lane, kicks it out. 3 is no good. And back to Washington with 3:15 to go. Get a stop. And out of bounds. It should go back to Illinois. It will. Off on Zoom Diallo. Zoomed a little too fast there. Out of control. Danny Sprinkle. They keep showing Danny Sprinkle. Ugh. I mean, I'm sure he's a nice guy. I don't know how you take that seriously. I just don't get it. All right, 10 turnovers for Washington, which is not good against an Illinois team that's not in the business of creating turnovers. So we're at the 3-minute mark. 8-point lead for Illinois. Feels like one more shot puts you in fantastic position here. Mirkovic running a little bit of point, but he gives it back to Keaton. We have 15 on the shot clock, 2:55 to go. Pick up top here from Tommy. No, Tommy rolls away. It's all Keaton, except from a pick here from Stojakovic. Keaton's going to take the 3. No good, but a board for Illinois. Mirkovic gets it. He wants it. Kicks it back out to Tommy. Back to David. And it gets knocked away. Ball stopped. Didn't have to. Kick it back out. Run some fresh play with 20 to go on the shot clock. Instead, Washington ball. 2:25 to go. The 3 for Steinbach. No good. Long board to Zoom Diallo. They're going to kick it back out. 3 from the corner is up. Is no good. Another rebound. Washington drives it up. And no good. I don't know what Zoom Diallo was doing with his little loop-de-loo on the layup, but they missed it. And it's 2 minutes to go and an 8-point Illinois lead after all of that. Timeout from Brad, who's probably pissed. That was not a great offensive possession before from Illinois, and then they gave up 3 chances to Washington on that. Not good enough. Still a chance to cover. Vegas knows, man. Vegas knows. Yeah, I just, as Trevor just said in our thread here, this is just a disgusting game. It really is. And that happens. It's sports. Sometimes there's just games that at the end of the year, you don't even think about. You don't want to think about. And that's what this is. I could be angrier, but like I've said, I'm just annoyed that it's Washington. I know nothing about them, and they're just annoying me tonight. Mildly, not that much. You guys have seen me far angrier. I got the F-bombs out of the way early, whatever. But as Illinois right now is projected as a 2 seed by Mike DeCourcy, and by most people after they got that Purdue win, these are the kind of games that you win. And if you get a 10-plus point win, I think that helps with net ranking for whatever reason. So there's something to watch here in the last 2. Keaton gets the inbound. 1:50 to go. Pick up top from Mirkovic. He finds Tommy in the corner. The 3 is up. No good, but a board for Keaton. Tommy kicks it back out to Mirkovic, and now Keaton again. So let's not have Tommy shoot another one. Tommy with the ball. He kicks it over to Ben Humrichous. The 3 from the corner is up and good. Way to go, Ben. Podium game for Ben. Hell yeah. Guy's been doing everything right this year except making shots consistently, and tonight he's making shots. 3 for Washington. Doesn't hit rim. Illinois is going to win this game. They're up 72-61 with 1:15 to go. 24 second chance points. They had to labor a bit. Not their sharpest night. Washington was annoying. But they're looking good here. Tommy with the ball. 1 minute to go. Keaton's going to take the 3. He makes it. Vegas knows. 12.5 point spread, 75-61. Illinois with 50 seconds to go. Keaton with 22, 5, and 8. What a dude. All right, 12-point lead. They're sweating in Vegas right now. 48.9 to go. Oh, God. Are we going to get a foul fest now? Please don't. Let's not do this. Call the foul. They're trying to foul. I love this when the refs outthink themselves. All right, so Keaton, that 3 there was from like 28 feet out. Ridiculous. Illinois gets an inbound opportunity. Break the press without too much of a problem. And no foul. Look at this. Danny Sprinkle, not Felon. Thank you, Danny Sprinkle. Stojakovic with a I don't know what's up this kid's head right now. That was just a dumb take. 9-point lead. What is wrong with him? I texted Isaac and Trevor early this game, and I just, Christ, Andre. You know, when he didn't draw rim on his first 3 shots, and then the fourth when he finally did, he has made 3 layups, but he goes in there, 29 seconds to go, with some half-assed effort, and it looks terrible. You've been playing ball too long for this. So he's got to get right. I mean, 2 games ago, I know he had was it 2 or 3 games ago, had his career high. He sucked at Purdue. He sucked again tonight. Wake up. Jake Davis inbound. All right. Hold. Christ. Foul on Washington. Mirkovic with some nice soccer acting, but he did get held there. Looks like that's on Zoom Diallo. And with free throws, Illinois can ice this. Covering might be tough. We'll see. All right, so the 10-point lead does matter based on net rankings. I would hope it's not something that's decisive between you being a 2 or 3. But right now, Illinois is up 75-66, so it's a 9-point lead. Here's Merk. Let's make both, baby. 19 points for him tonight. See if we can get him 20. And we can't. Washington ball. We're going to play to the end. 3 is up. It is no good. Foul him, please. Foul him. Shoot it. Brad, don't worry about pleasantries. I'd like to thank Andre Stojakovic for missing a meaningless layup, if that net ranking does in fact matter. But you know what all matters? Illinois got the win. A stupid game if I ever saw one. It happens. But 18-3. Best record in the first 21 games since 2005-2006. This team, what they've done since that Nebraska game, wholly impressive. And the fact that we're looking at these ho-hum games like this one, and it was a 9-point win against a pesky Washington team, that's the kind of game that you've gotten from this team. That's impressive. That consistency that they're growing and bodes well. But man, I'm pooped. And that game was whatever. And they happen. But what we're going to do Sunday is I'm thinking post-game if Illinois beats Nebraska. I don't know if we're going to do a second half. We'll decide that. Got to figure out what my Sunday is like, but that seemed to bode well for that away game against Purdue. And sometimes those away games in what will be a top 10 matchup between Illinois and Nebraska, they get a little bit more heated and you're really watching, and I don't think it'd be as compelling maybe of a podcast live reaction. So I would presume if Illinois beats Nebraska, we'll be live post-game. If not, we'll be here on Monday to discuss the game, whatever may have happened. But right now, Illinois is in a great spot. 18-3. They're in the Big Ten chase. If they beat Nebraska, they are very, very much a favorite to win the Big Ten, because after tomorrow night, Michigan or Michigan State will have 2 losses. So, hey, you're in it. And that is not something I would have predicted after that Nebraska game. I think a little bit of revenge is on the mind of Illinois. I think they might have been looking ahead a little bit, at least subconsciously tonight, hence the, not lackluster performance. I don't think Illinois did anything bad tonight. But that extra sharpness that would have maybe been a 15 to 20-point win wasn't there. Okay, fine. We'll take 9. And then never have to see the DAWGS jersey again. And maybe never to see Danny Sprinkle if they continue to suck this year. Because I don't know what is Washington basketball. What are we watching here? I remember Brandon Roy in that game back in 2006. That's all I need to know. I'm annoyed by them, but not by this Illinois team. I thought pretty decent effort, all things considered. So appreciate all of you joining us tonight. I know I was not maybe at my best. Tried to provide the best reaction I could, but squinting halfway through the game. I don't think I got anyone's name or number incorrectly, but I do appreciate you tuning in. And like I said, on Sunday, we'll be back if Illinois wins for a post game. If not, we'll just kind of push that to Monday, have a more kind of extended recap. But if I'm sitting here right now and make a prediction, I think I'll see you Sunday. I really do. I think Illinois is in a very good spot to get this win against a Nebraska team that, yeah, they played balls out at Michigan yesterday. Or was that 2 days ago? Played balls out, and that was without Rank Mast and the Frager kid. The flu, it's running through that team. I could see Illinois going in there and playing their best game of the year. In fact, it would surprise me if Nebraska comes out and wins decisively. So let's get it done, and then hopefully see you guys Sunday. But in the meantime, Illinois is 18-3 and in a great spot for what they need to be going into the NCAA tournament to make a run. Now the question is, can they make a true run at the Big Ten title? And Sunday is going to go a long way in deciding that. So for our sponsors, Hamilton Walker, State Farm agent Brian Hansen, Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, and Owen Builders, LLC. I appreciate you all tuning in on this evening. Best way to support our podcast is to support our sponsors. I'm going to go rest and recuperate and be back in tip-top shape on Sunday. All right, everybody. Take care. It is the 200